most people know, man, most of any, the problem, the tension, the conflict, all of these things throughout the years, pretty much the only bracket of society or area of society that these issues have been, prevalent or that even existed was the artistic atmosphere, really. It's all these, it's different types of industries, realities that, other places, I actually have nothing against, like zero against. I don't even care if some other, part of society use my entire everything. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even care. I don't care. The issue really came from things like in the artistic, hemisphere, like the rhyming and, the creativity and visual arts and things like that, because, and melody and stuff like that, because the jealousy, you feel me? It's a lot of covetous in that atmosphere because it's a competitive thing in this society. So it's a lot of people trying to make room for themselves in an overcrowded, reality. It's really that simple. So it's people that they would do anything, hand over hand, you feel me, step on anyone, for that power, that idea, you feel me, domination, that lust for physical, gratification, and that appeal, for, physical fulfillment. So it's things like that's a concept that's become, almost cliche now. You know what I'm saying? And that's, as influential, like it's certain people, if you have the talent and you can use it for the goodness of God, or you can use it to make a positive or good difference in the world. But really do it for that reason, though. You feel me? Don't do it for, other reasons than just say that it's to make the world better just because it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? But you really got something that you got like a real, desire to make the world better. You feel me? Which, or to spread the gospel of the Lord, or the light on the righteous path. You can't go wrong. So there's a difference, and actually, it's this other angle I want to, also go through, break down real quick. And it's like, if I could try to liken it to, I got an analogy for this concept, and it's like, my life and my situation is entirely different than what normally is, because I ain't a person that was doing something that I thought I was good at, you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing something that I really was supposed to do. You feel me? Like when it comes to art and, especially my literary ability and things, I was, this is something that I was, that God, it was something I was supposed to be doing. You feel me? And even though my quote unquote spot in history was considered a fossil by most, because and mostly by people who had spiritual discernment early on, before even I did, about God's anointing and God's power and things. And some, a lot of like that, and that, that confirms what I was saying. Like some, they was able to discern those kind of things, and then they also discern the reality of the situation. Then they discern how bad I was did, as creative. You know what I'm saying? They understood that early on, how I was sabotaged, like preemptively by, like I said, man, it's hand over hand. It's like, it's an overcrowded, reality that everybody trying to be in the front. You know what I'm saying? And so people knew that I pretty much I never had a fair chance. And that's different than what other people did, you know. So I didn't have a fair chance when I was young and somebody saw the blessing of God on my life. They made sure, you know, it's people that were making sure that even if whatever it amounted to, it would not be in this reality. You know what I'm saying? But that was exactly what God had, you know. I mean, that was a talent. But that wasn't all, you feel me? That wasn't everything. It's like a gateway. But we'll never know now, will we? You feel me? We'll never know now, you know what I'm saying? We'll never get to see. You know what I'm saying? Humanity chose a different timeline, you feel me? So, I mean, what I do, I can show people pieces of God's original timeline, you know, through the talent that he gave me, innovation and things. Then you got people that's trying hard to destroy that. You know what I'm saying? And that's you know, that, I mean, if anything, that's affirmation of all that I'm saying. You know, it was people that's trying so hard to destroy even the fragments of, you know what I'm saying, purposes of God that the devil had, quote unquote, canceled in the early stages. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you ask me, I mean, that's indicative, that's most obvious, you know what I'm saying, of everything, and confirmation of everything I said. And that's the reality, man. It's everything really put in perspective at this point. You know, it's just, you know, it's you know, a situation that the persecution on my life is not as you know, not a simple situation. But personally though, I don't have no problems with you know, anybody that was, you know, I mean, most of my issues stemmed in that reality because, like I say, man, it's like a bracket that everybody trying to be number one in it, you know what I'm saying? But the difference with my whole life and legacy was I kept God number one. And I did it in a way that nobody else could, you feel me? And still do it in a way nobody else can. And that's why it was no room for me in society, because, you know, that being a competitive reality, they didn't want me nowhere near it, quote unquote, even though it's not theirs to say. You feel me? It's like they don't have ownership of it. I mean, God created it. It's poetry back all the way in Psalms. You know what I'm saying? That's the Bible days. You know, because God wrote it. I mean, that's God's language. You know, so I mean, it's people that were trying to, like, take ownership of entire things that's not theirs, even though they probably, you know, got people who have embraced the concept. The concept didn't belong to them though, like that, you know. But they wanted to take ownership of a concept, you know, to keep other people from anybody that, you know, had talent. Anybody that had talent they feel was better than their own talent. They want to ensure that they could not ever get discovered, recognized, or ever be great in what they did, because that's a threat to their, you know what I'm saying, their coolness, their appeal, their power, their dominations, their, you know, mammon, and, you know, things like that, you know what I'm saying? So they go through hell and high water, literally, you know, to ensure that people who even deserve success did not get success in what they love to do. You feel me? And that's the reality of the situation. So, I mean, but yeah, man, it's really a deeper situation. But my issue didn't stem from other brackets and industries and stuff like that. No, I ain't had no problem with those people. I mean, I understand. I don't expect too much. You feel me? Like as far as, like, you know, in terms of the persecution, you know, I don't underestimate how deep it went. You feel me? Whoever was doing this all them years, they was obsessive, like, cynically and ensuring, like, the thorough sabotage of my being, you know, brand, existence, entity, everything, like, thoroughly, like a science. You feel me? Like, surgical. You feel me? Like, whoever, you know, this attack on my life has been like one that's It's like, say if somebody just given, they don't have no legal constraints on one person's life, and then they doing all these things, and but they're doing it for purpose where more people could gain, I guess, like a wealth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like pretty much that's what happened. God was robbed. You feel me? In a nutshell, God was robbed, and it's people who chose instant gratification and heaven on earth over God, and by utterly overkilling his messenger before he even gets started. You feel me? And so that's a major part of like the judgments that's coming upon humanity. You know what I'm saying? As any parent would understand. You feel me? As any parent would understand, that look on and be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You can tell like, yeah, that's not that's messed up. That's pretty bad. And if I knew the details, anybody knew details, it's a very, very, very bad situation. Even worse than everything I've disclosed. It's so bad that the world don't even have a solution for it or a resolution for it. You know what I'm saying? Not one that I would like. You know what I'm saying? Not one I would agree with. They don't even have a resolution for it. I mean, God does, of course, but God doesn't move when, humanity wanted to. God does things in his own timing, So, I mean, but yeah, man, you ain't have no issue with like other realities, man. Realities had issues with me because they feared what I could potentially do with my natural skill and talent because of the blessing of God they saw in my life early on. And so it became their number one priority when I was at a young age to ensure that I stayed in a position where it's easier to contain or control me by, either from clipping off my wings and, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Cutting off pretty much my resources, to progress, in that reality, just in case, that reality is what my calling in God was towards. Even though at the time they couldn't be sure, but they just wanted to make sure that, okay, we see, you know what I'm saying? They saw the blessing of God on my life, so they wanted to make sure that when I got older, that I was not anywhere near, you know what I'm saying, what they claimed as their industry or their concept, you feel me? So that's what it was. They wanted to ensure that I was not a threat to, you know what I'm saying, their tradition and way of life. Because they knew if it was God upon me, they know I'm going to be talking about the things in the Bible. So back then, the country really had already decided that it's going to go with Satan over God. Even back then. And now at this point is extremely, the situation snowballed into something else entirely, But it's the same thing, really. It's just worse. Like the Bible said, it'll be wax worse and worse. And it's not going to get no better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of situation, man. I didn't have the details about what was going on. I was like just thrown into a ring right out the cradle and just made to just figure it out. You feel me? That's pretty much what happened. I just forced to figure it out. I just gotta figure it out. I had to. And nobody ain't want me to figure it out either. Not really. But the Lord, really, it ain't really nobody interest or that, really, it's just the Lord, it's God that mainly, wanted people to know the truth about everything. Because I didn't even know how down bad I was. You feel me? I didn't even know how under the bus I was. You feel me? I didn't. That's what it was. I was sabotaged in advance. And really, that's my driving force. Because God is a God of truth. he wanted the saints and people to understand what really is the situation, as opposed to what some want to, represent the situation to be like. So it's been a rough one, man. Been rough, but it's worth it. Anything for God is worth it, no matter how much, grief you go through. And my situation, it wasn't nothing I did. It was just what others thought I could do, which made them, do things that they did. But I just wanted that to be clarified. Like, no, most of my conflict wasn't with, other industries and things, things I loved, visual arts and graphic designs and gamings and films, screenwritings, just in etc. It goes on and on and on. All that stuff, great, man. I love some of my favorite things. It would have been a very, very big part of my purpose, my ministry things, for God. Had I not been sabotaged early on. So I would have been able to create new things and windows and doors that were not in the earth before. And then I did that already, bits and pieces though, and people see that. So you got satanic cults that when they see that it's original. They see that it's something nobody else ain't doing, and it's nothing that somebody else ain't did before. Then what they do is they know that they had a scam that they put a lot into, and the scam was slandering me, lying on my name, saying that I was doing stuff that people already did. So when they see clearly that off muscle, off the top, easily, I'm doing stuff that nobody else ain't never did, at will, so on call, at call, you feel me? Nothing. Then that disproves everything that their whole empire is built upon. So that means they have no success. And so what they do is they work day and night to find some kind of way to create windows of entrances in time where they can destroy my legacy quickly and then have it, and it's over with. You feel me? That's what they trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's the situation. That's exactly what they're trying to do. That's why they lie on me like in a cycle. Nobody stops them. They lie on me every couple weeks. They return to the same thing I just disproved, like overtly, disprove in a majestic way, straight classics, so I just disproved it 1 week, 2 weeks later, they're saying the same things, and my platform's right back in danger. Nobody is stopping them. They're anti-God. It's happening all year round. They're forcing me to have to keep creating stuff for free. They won't give me time to even benefit off my own talent. You feel me? This is a massive hate crime, egregious hate crime, and nobody has the answer to it. You know what I'm saying? They're doing this constantly. They're insane, obsessed, cynical people who feel like they're doing something. They're preserving their traditions by, by robbing God, attacking God in these ways intellectually. You feel me? And that's the situation. So when they see me doing things that is contrary to their slander and stuff, they got to find a way to make themselves back the heroes of things that they're not the heroes of. You feel me? Like, it's, as far as those slanderers and stuff, like, and some people just got misled, deceived. They got tricked. But that's what's going on, though, like that, So you got people that's working day and night, and they looking, they picking up where the people who started it way back, when I was a baby, pretty much, when I was young, it's picking up every year. You feel me? They all the same team. You feel me? And they just whatever happened back then when I was like a baby, it carried over all the way up to this year. You feel me? So it's been on for like over 2 decades. You feel me? And counting still at this moment. You feel me? Nobody on earth got a resolution or the ability to do anything. Cause this is this crime here probably one of the ones that that was the most invested in history by like a large body of people, because a lot of people got, manipulated, and a lot went into it. You feel me? A lot came from it. You know what I mean? At God's expense, though. You know, the fact that it created opportunities for other people is not something I'm against. Like that. But I know what I had to give the world would have did the same thing, but better. You feel me? What I had to give the world, they would have gave me like the chance, I would have been able to do. I would have did that, but I would have did it times a billion. You feel me? Like, in a way, way better, more innovative ways. You feel me? And that's the situation, man. I would have did it greater. Because God would have been doing it. God is progression and growth. You know what I'm saying? If something without God, if it's not in God, then it ain't no way to progress or grow. You feel me? It ain't no way to be anything. Just to be honest, that's just reality. So yeah, man, I just want some clarity in the situation. I might make some more recordings on this concept, on this subject, actually, man, because it's a thorough, very, very pressing subject, and it just keep recurring because there's so much confusion regarding it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I try to keep offering, clarity on the matters. It's reality though, man. Everything organized, really. Be honest. But I just want the clarity though, like, nah, I ain't. And I wouldn't be surprised, things that I'm in favor of, man, start getting attacked. That's also been a cycle. It's been happening. You got people, these of the same bracket, I guess. They see other brackets and industries that's in favor of serving a God. You know what I'm saying? And they know it and they recognize it. And then secretly, they try to undermine it or prevent it. You feel me? They do things under the radar. Now, the moment that becomes on the knowledge of, I guess the backbones of society, then it still happens, then that right there is what turns the country anti-God, because they're the only ones who could do anything about it. But if they're in favor of this, this false stuff that that those influential figures or whatever they're doing, then you know what I mean? The foundations are broken at that point. You got somebody that approves of attack against God. Man, what can the righteous do then? Or what the Bible says. If the foundations are broken, what can the righteous do? That's the kind of situation. If the backbones of society is in favor of some fraudulent, fake stuff like that, then it ain't nothing that the real can do. I mean, now if you living righteous, to me that's being real, doing the will of God, righteous living, holiness, that's real to me. So what can the righteous do if the foundation's broken? They break the foundations, then it ain't no way to progress. And that's what happened on my life, and that's why my spot in history is a fossil. And it's a miracle that I display the pieces and fragments. And you see how hard these artists and influential figures working, they're trying to distract from that and take away from the pieces and things, fragments, trying to discredit me and my words. They working hard, trying to assimilate, take my stuff and make it seem like it's coming from them and other people. You see what they're doing? It's confirmation. It's a mission of guilt. It's all a mission of guilt. You see what they're doing, in plain sight. It's affirmation to everything I've been saying. You know what I'm saying? It's a pre-planned, premeditated, pre-contemplated situation. They don't want people to see the truth, That's why you got them trying to larceny my platforms. That's making these. I got these quotes and recordings. I need my stuff protected till I can, secure it like it needs to be secured. I can't do that because I'm so busy trying to fight just to live and exist, while I'm being also forced to exile from these artists who don't own the country. It's weird, It's crazy. But keep your eyes open. Anybody who got sense, man, these days and care about what's right. For real, man. These are the days that y'all got to stand up. Of course, be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. You know what I'm saying? But, nothing goes unnoticed though, man. Nothing is pointless. You know, it's all has meaning, man.